Hi friend, I'm Kate. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on a beautiful block of the month pattern. I am a little biased since I designed the pattern, but it's a cool quilt that my local quilt guild is working on. We're each doing our own top, and then I don't know if that's how a block of the month works, so obviously. I guess you could trade them. That's a round robin or a sewing bee. Regardless, it's a block of the month pattern. I'm many months behind. I'm also doing it completely out of order because for the first time, maybe not the exact first time, but close to it, I'm sort of going really scrappy, but with a pattern. Normally when I make scrap quilts, I just like go scrappy and it's crazy and there's no need to really care too much about value and contrast and tone and color. This one that's behind me that I'm working on, little different. I'm using only pink and black fabric, and black is really just like a pop. My goal is to only use each fabric, I'll say once, but some of the blocks, when you piece elements for a block, you use that same element in another block. So there are a couple places where the fabric's repeated. I'm okay with it. But with using all of these different pink prints, I'm really having to pay attention to not just like the tone, meaning like the dustiness or brightness of the color, but also the value of it, meaning the light and dark of the color, because I really want to make sure that I get the right amount of contrast throughout the whole quilt so that you do see the individual blocks. So it's a little bit more slow going. For one of the first times, I'm about to rip out the centerpiece of a log cabin and replace it because I found a fabric that I like just a little better. I don't know, I'm doing this to myself. I'm the one making this complicated. I'm the one who made the pattern. I truly am the one making it complicated. But that's okay. I'm really enjoying the process and it's been a lot of fun. So I thought I'd bring you along for a little bit of it. I doubt I will get the quilt finished today. In fact, I know I won't. But I will at least make progress and that will make me feel good. I think if I could get the blocks that I want to replace fabric in, if I could get those two done, I think there's just two. Yeah, if I could get those two done, I'd feel really good. And if I could get maybe all of the other blocks that have black fabric in them done, then it's just filling in with pink bits. I have a lot of fabric out. You can see, well, here's the pattern. It is many pages. You can see just a little bit of it right here. There's gobs. I'm trying to use scraps. I'm trying to use new prints, old prints. I've got like, Lizzie McGuire fabric. I've got bananas. I've got orange peels. I've got more bananas. Leslie Nope. I've got just all the pink fabric. So let's get started. Okay, so I have this log cabin block already pieced and it's fine. Got a dark right in the middle. It's fine, but I just think it would be a little funnier and cuter with Leslie Nope in the middle. And she just so happens to like perfectly fit. So I'm going to annoyingly, but totally worth it, unpick my seams on the center block. And then I'm going to use a bunch of partial seams in ways that I have never before. And I'm going to try and figure out how to just replace this center square. I would not normally rip out the center of a block. It's kind of crazy to do this, but I just really think it's going to look so much better if this center block is Leslie Nope. Plus, I don't quite know how to incorporate this fabric otherwise, and I know that I really want to. So, to test it out, I'm just gonna lay her under there. God, I think it's hilarious. I love that. I think that's perfect. So if I were piecing this log cabin normally, I would sew my first square to my second square. That would be my first seam. So I'm going to do exactly that. Now, it's a little tricky because there's all this other stuff, but it is just sewing your first seam, your second seam, your third seam, your fourth seam. So I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to fold it in half so that my block is folded away and I can perfectly line up these guys. Now, normally when I'm sewing, I would never pin. It's just not what I do. But because this is so fiddly and weird, I'm going to throw just one pin in. When I take it to the sewing machine, I'm going to make sure that my two corners up here are perfectly lined up and it'll be fine. Now, my next seam I'm going to do is this one right here. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to go to the end. Again, folding in half, and I probably normally wouldn't pin, but I do want to make sure that this lines up pretty well. And again, it is a little fiddly. So I'm just going to start. My stitching goes, it's hard to see, I know, but my stitching goes to about here. So I'm going to overlap by about 1/2 inch at the sewing machine. Start there, go to the end. We're back. We're finger pressing. I'm going to rotate it. We're going to do the exact same thing over here. I'm going to pin closer to my edges. Great. I'm going to overlap my stitching by about 1/2 inch and go to the end. So I'm now on the last side. I need to finger press this third side. Great. So now it should be as simple as folding along this seam. I am going to pin the middle of this block again. It's fiddly. Want to make sure I got it right. Because I did not intend on doing this twice, but I definitely will not do it thrice. Now we're just going to sew, overlapping by 1/2 inch to this side, overlapping by 1/2 inch, and then it's fixed. And I think she looks quite good in the middle of the block there. Honestly, it's like the pop of personality and humor that I wanted. So the other block that I want to replace is this large churn dash right here. When I pieced it, really loved the fabric combination. Looking at it with the rest of the quilt, this lighter pink is just reading dull. Hi, baby girl. It's reading dull, and I thought it would read more peach. And it's not doing what I need it to do. Also, I don't know if I mentioned, but this quilt is inspired, roughly, lightly, no it is, by Chappell Roan's Pink Pony Club song. I really love the femme, very flirty nature of it. So I'm going to replace all of this lighter pink area with this print. And I'm trying currently to decide, do I want to take the block apart and cut triangles and piece it that way? Or would I rather, because I have this darker fabric somewhere, it's in the piles. I would rather just repiece the whole thing and then use this somewhere else. I just don't know where else I would use a giant churn dash quilt. Yeah, I'm just gonna remake it. I need 2 9-inch squares from each of them, 4 4.5 by 8.5 from each of them, and then an 8.5 square from this one as well. No, an 8.5 square from this one. That's correct. Four and a half. Oh shoot, am I gonna be able to get this? Oh no! I think I overthought it. I think I might have panicked. Okay, well, my pieces are not gonna be, oh, that is way thinner than I realized. Okay, she's fine. she can do this. Great. Boom. Boom. Okay, so we'll start here. We'll go whoop. Why I'm trying to sew with a stylus. Like, my hand does just fine. I've been doing fine for years. But someone told me I'm supposed to use a stylus, so now I'm trying. I don't like it. Literally 2 stitches in, I don't like it. Wow, changing that one fabric made a huge difference to the overall quilt. The whole thing feels a lot brighter now, a lot more fun and playful, which is totally what I was going for. Now that I've got that switched out, I'm sort of looking at this star next to it, wondering, is that too dusty and dull? Should it have a little more pop? I think my plan is to first piece a few more blocks, all the blocks, a number of the blocks, and really get to really solidify the visual look of the quilt. So rather than piecing more blocks, I decided that I would sort of plan out where my favorite fabrics were going to go roughly on the quilt. So this is a log cabin. We've got a little rainbow in the middle. I'm thinking this like hot solid pink, and then I'm gonna need a lighter pink here. I don't know what that is yet, but this is here. That's something. I do want to go around the side. I'm also starting to incorporate more like oranges and reds as I go, because like this is very like purpley pink, but I want to balance it out with some reds, some oranges. This is very red. You get the vibe. So this one is here. Should work well. Part of these stuff. That's my friendship star. Okay, so wait. I have all this fabric out. I really need to figure out like what goes where. It's chaos. It's utter pure chaos. There are like layers and layers and layers of fabric here. But I've got my log cabin figured out, my friendship star, this churn dash, I've got whatever shoe fly is down there, the 9 patch down there. I'm sort of thinking that now is when I like stop, piece these blocks, come back to the chaos. I also think I'm now going to incorporate maybe this black and white print. I do love her. This little like cross stitching or like shishiko print is adorable. I love it. It's got just enough of like a pink vibe that I think it'll, no. I think that needs to be really solid. No. Maybe. Yeah, I have a lot of, what in there? She could work. She could work. I have a lot of a lot.